Today we're diving deep into the world of creatine. Now, creatine is one of the most researched supplements out there, and for good reason. It can help you build muscle, boost strength, and even improve cognitive function. But like any powerful tool, you need to know how to use it correctly. There are a lot of misconceptions and flat-out mistakes people make when it comes to creatine. These mistakes can not only hinder your progress but also potentially lead to unwanted side effects. In this video, we'll expose and break down the 9 most common creatine mistakes you should avoid at all costs. We'll cover everything from how much to take to when and how to take it. So, whether you're a seasoned creatine user or just thinking about adding it to your supplement regimen, this video has got you covered. Mistake 1. Not drinking enough water. When supplementing with creatine, not drinking enough water is a big mistake. Creatine pulls water into your muscles, making them look fuller. But without enough water, you risk dehydration. Think of your body as a car and water as the oil. Creatine is like adding a turbocharger. Ensure you have enough oil to handle the extra power. Dehydration can cause fatigue, headaches, cramps, and dizziness. Aim for a gallon of water a day. Your body will thank you. Keep a water bottle with you and sip throughout the day. Add flavor with lemon, cucumber, or BCAAs. Make hydration a habit. Mistake 2. Taking it with caffeine. Now, I know what you're thinking, but hey, I love my pre-workout with caffeine. It gives me that extra boost. And I hear you. Caffeine can be a great ergogenic aid, but when it comes to creatine, it's best to keep them separate. Why? Because caffeine can actually interfere with creatine absorption. You see, both caffeine and creatine compete for absorption in your intestines, so when you take them together, your body might not be able to fully utilize the creatine. Not only that, but caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it can dehydrate you. And as we just discussed, staying hydrated is crucial when taking creatine. So what's the solution? Simple: time your creatine and caffeine intake strategically. If you're set on having your caffeine, have it at least an hour before or after taking your creatine. This will give your body ample time to absorb each supplement effectively. Remember, timing is everything when it comes to maximizing your results. Mistake 3. Overdosing on creatine. I see this mistake all the time, especially among beginners who think that if a little is good, more must be better. But when it comes to creatine, that's simply not true. The recommended daily dose of creatine is typically around 3 to 5 grams. Now, some people do a loading phase where they take a higher dose for a short period of time, but even then, it's rarely necessary to exceed 20 grams per day. Taking more than the recommended dose won't necessarily lead to faster or better results. In fact, it can actually do more harm than good. Excess creatine that your body can't absorb gets excreted through your kidneys. Over time, this can put unnecessary strain on your kidneys and potentially lead to health issues. So, stick to the recommended dosage and don't fall into the trap of thinking more is always better. Remember, consistency and patience are key when it comes to seeing results from creatine supplementation. Mistake 4. Taking it with carbohydrates. You might have heard that you should take creatine with carbohydrates to enhance absorption. While there's some logic to this, it's not entirely accurate. Let me explain. The idea behind taking creatine with carbs is that the insulin spike from the carbs will help shuttle the creatine into your muscle cells. However, research on this is mixed, and the effect, if any, is likely to be minimal. In fact, some studies suggest that taking creatine with a high-protein meal might be just as effective, if not more so, for maximizing absorption. So, instead of loading up on simple sugars, focus on consuming a balanced meal with a good source of protein. This will provide your body with the nutrients it needs to effectively utilize the creatine. Remember, the goal is to optimize absorption, not spike your blood sugar unnecessarily. Mistake 5. Creatine with protein. Speaking of protein, let's address the question of whether or not you should combine creatine with protein. Now, there's no harm in taking creatine and protein together, but it's not necessarily the most optimal approach. You see, both creatine and protein require different mechanisms for absorption. When you consume them together, they might compete for absorption in your gut, potentially hindering the uptake of one or both. Now, this doesn't mean you can't have protein and creatine in the same day. In fact, you absolutely should. Just try to separate them by a couple of hours to maximize absorption. For example, you could have your creatine with your pre-workout meal or shake, and then have your protein shake after your workout. This will ensure that your body has ample opportunity to utilize both supplements effectively. Mistake 6. Not taking creatine monohydrates. With so many different forms of creatine on the market, it's easy to get caught up in the hype and wonder if creatine monohydrate is still the gold standard. And the answer is a resounding yes. Creatine monohydrate has been extensively studied and proven to be safe and effective. It's also the most affordable form of creatine, which is a nice bonus. Now there are other forms of creatine out there like creatine ethyl ester or creatine hydrochloride that claim to be better absorbed or have fewer side effects. However, the scientific evidence to support these claims is often lacking or inconclusive. So why fix what isn't broken? Creatine monohydrate has stood the test of time for a reason. It's effective, affordable, and readily available. Stick with the OG. Mistake 7. Taking creatine without exercising. Now, creatine can offer some cognitive benefits even without exercise, but its primary benefits are related to athletic performance. You see, creatine works by increasing your body's stores of phosphocreatine, which is used to produce ATP, the primary energy source for your muscles. When you exercise, your body depletes its ATP stores and creatine helps replenish them faster, allowing you to train harder and recover quicker. But if you're not engaging in any strenuous activity, those extra ATP stores aren't going to do much for you. It's like filling up your car's gas tank when it's already full. So, if you're going to invest in creatine, make sure you're also investing in regular exercise. Whether it's weightlifting, HIIT, or any other form of intense activity, make sure you're putting that creatine to good use. Mistake 8. Creatine is not a magic pill. It's not going to magically transform your physique or make you an overnight sensation in the gym. Creatine is a supplement, and the key word there is supplement. It's meant to supplement a well-rounded diet and training program, not replace them. If you're eating junk food all day, neglecting your workouts, and expecting creatine to do all the heavy lifting, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Creatine can amplify your results, but it can't compensate for a lack of effort in other areas. So, make sure you're prioritizing the fundamentals, a balanced diet, consistent training, adequate sleep, and stress management. Creatine is the icing on the cake, not the cake itself. Mistake 9. Not choosing a high-quality creatine product. Last but not least, let's talk about the importance of choosing a high-quality creatine product. Not all creatine is created equal, and opting for a cheap, low-quality supplement can actually do more harm than good. When choosing a creatine product, there are a few key things to look for. First and foremost, make sure it's third-party tested. This means that an independent lab has verified the purity and potency of the product. Second, check the ingredient list. Ideally, you want a creatine supplement that's free of fillers, additives, and artificial ingredients. And finally, consider the brand's reputation. Do your research, read reviews, and choose a reputable brand that's known for its quality and transparency. Remember, you get what you pay for. Investing in a high-quality creatine supplement is an investment in your health and your results. 9 common creatine mistakes to avoid if you want to maximize your results and stay safe. Remember, creatine is a powerful tool, but like any tool, you need to know how to use it correctly. By avoiding these mistakes and following the tips outlined in this video, you'll be well on your way to unlocking the full potential of creatine supplementation. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based fitness and nutrition advice. And don't forget to check out the description for links to additional resources and studies. Until next time, stay strong and keep crushing your fitness goals.